Three signs appear before a social program collapses. Always. Sign 1. More people taking money out than putting money in. Sign 2. The trust fund runs dry. Sign 3. Everyone pretends it's fine until it's too late. Want to know something terrifying? All three are active right now with Social Security. The Social Security Board of Trustees released their 2024 annual report with a date circled in red 2030. 3. Source: Social Security Administration Trustees Report 2024. That's when the trust fund hits zero. 9 years from now, history gives us one advantage. We can see what's coming. The question is, will we act? Let me take you back to 1935. Franklin Roosevelt signed the Social Security Act into law. The promise was simple: work your whole life, pay into the system, and you'll have guaranteed income when you retire. The math seemed solid. In 1940, there were 159 workers paying into Social Security for every one person receiving benefits. Source: Social Security Administration Historical Tables 2023. The ratio was overwhelming. But here's what they didn't plan for. People would live longer, birth rates would drop, and the ratio would flip. By 1950, that ratio had already dropped to 16 workers per beneficiary. By 2023, it fell to 2.8 workers per beneficiary. Source: Social Security Administration Trustees Report 2024. Think about that. In your grandparents' time, 159 people were funding one retiree's check. Today, fewer than 3 people fund each check. And the trend is accelerating. Right now, Social Security pays out more in benefits than it collects in payroll taxes. The program has been running a cash deficit since 2010. Source: Congressional Budget Office. The 2024 Long-Term Budget Outlook. For the last 14 years, Social Security has been dipping into its trust fund reserves to cover the gap. Those reserves currently stand at approximately $2.6 trillion. Source: Social Security Administration Trustees Report 2024. Sounds like a lot, right? But when you're burning through tens of billions every year, even trillions disappear fast. The official government projection is crystal clear. By 2033, the Social Security Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund will be depleted. Source: Social Security Administration Trustees Report 2024. Not might be depleted. Will be depleted. This isn't a prediction from some think tank or political group. This is the Social Security Administration's own trustees telling Congress what's coming. Now, I know what you're thinking. Big claims require big evidence. So let me verify those key numbers. The worker-to-beneficiary ratio declining from 159 to 2.8 is confirmed by Social Security Administration historical workforce data spanning 1940 to 2023. Source: Social Security Administration. Ratio of covered workers to beneficiaries. Historical tables. The cash deficit beginning in 2010 is documented in Congressional Budget Office Annual Analyses. Source: Congressional Budget Office. Social Security Policy Options 2022. The trust fund depletion date of 2033 appears in the official 2024 Trustees Report submitted to Congress. Source: Social Security Administration Trustees Report 2024. The current reserve of $2.6 trillion is from the same Trustees Report. Page 5, Table IVA3. These aren't debatable numbers. They're official government data. What happens in 2033? Here's where it gets personal. When the trust fund hits zero, Social Security doesn't disappear entirely. But here's the brutal reality. Benefits would be cut immediately by approximately 23% across the board. Source: Social Security Administration Trustees Report 2024. If you're receiving $2,000 a month right now, that drops to $1,540. If you're counting on $1,500, you'll get $1,155 overnight. Let me put that in household terms. The average Social Security retirement benefit in 2024 is $1,907 per month. Source: Social Security Administration. Monthly Statistical Snapshot. October 2024. A 23% cut means losing $439 every single month. That's $5,268 per year gone. For many retirees, that's the difference between paying for prescriptions or skipping medications. Between keeping the heat on in winter or wearing extra sweaters. Between eating 3 meals a day or rationing food. And here's what makes this especially cruel. Social Security wasn't designed to be the only source of retirement income, but for millions of Americans, it is. According to the Social Security Administration, about 40% of retired workers rely on Social Security for at least half their income. Source: Social Security Administration. Income of the population 55 older. 2022. 1 in 7 retirees depends on Social Security for 90% or more of their income. Source: Social Security Administration. Fast facts and figures about Social Security. 2023. A 23% benefit cut for these people isn't an inconvenience, it's catastrophic. You might think, I'm young, I have time, this doesn't affect me yet. Wrong. If you're paying into Social Security right now through payroll taxes, you're funding a system that the government admits won't be able to pay you full benefits when you retire. The current payroll tax is 12.4% of your wages, split between you and your employer. Source: Social Security Administration. 2024 Social Security tax rates. If you're self-employed, you pay the full 12.4% yourself. That money comes out of every single paycheck, and the official government position is that the system cannot sustain full benefits. Let me verify those household impact numbers before we go further. The average benefit of $1,907 per month is from the Social Security Administration's October 2024 statistical snapshot, specifically the average monthly benefit for retired workers. Source: Social Security Administration, monthly statistical snapshot, October 2024. The 40% of retirees relying on Social Security for half their income comes from the SSA income of the population 55 or older. Report analyzing 2022 data. Source: Social Security Administration, income of the population 55 or older, 2022. The 1 in 7
statistic for 90% dependence is confirmed in the Fast Facts and Figures publication. Source: Social Security Administration, Fast Facts and Figures about Social Security, 2023. These aren't estimates. These are surveyed, documented dependency rates showing how fragile millions of households are. Now here's the pattern that should terrify you. This isn't the first time a government has promised retirement security and then failed to deliver. In 2001, Argentina's government raided private retirement accounts to cover budget shortfalls, eventually confiscating $30 billion in pension funds. Source: International Monetary Fund, Argentina Country Report, 2003. In 2013, Cyprus imposed a bail-in that seized retirement savings from bank accounts above certain thresholds. Source: European Central Bank, The Financial Crisis in Cyprus, 2013. In 2016, Poland nationalized private pension funds, transferring $51.5 billion in assets to the state. Source: Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, Pension Markets in Focus, 2016. Different countries, different mechanisms, same outcome. People who plan for retirement lost their security. The United States isn't Argentina or Cyprus or Poland, but the math doesn't care about which country you're in. When more money goes out than comes in, something has to give. And in every case throughout history, it's been the people counting on those payments who suffered. Here's what nobody tells you: the 2033 date might actually be optimistic. The projection assumes stable economic growth, consistent employment rates, and no major recessions. Source: Social Security Administration Trustees Report, 2024, Assumptions section. But we've seen 3 major economic crises in the last 25 years: the dot-com crash, the 2008 financial crisis, and the 2020 pandemic recession. Each time, unemployment spikes, payroll tax revenue drops, and the trust fund depletes faster. If another recession hits before 2033, that depletion date moves closer. The Congressional Budget Office has run alternative scenarios. Under their intermediate economic assumptions, the trust fund could be exhausted as early as Arlington. Source: Congressional Budget Office, the 2024 long-term budget outlook 1 year earlier, under more pessimistic but still realistic assumptions about productivity growth and labor force participation. It could happen even sooner. We're not talking about distant theoretical futures. We're talking about dates that people currently in their 40s and 50s will reach before they even qualify for full retirement benefits. Let me verify those international pension seizure examples because they sound extreme, but they're documented. Argentina's confiscation of private pension funds between 2001 and 2008 is detailed in IMF country reports assessing the economic crisis. Source: International Monetary Fund, Argentina, 2003 Article 4 Consultation Report. The Cyprus bail-in of March 2013 affecting retirement accounts is documented in European Central Bank Crisis Assessments. Source: European Central Bank Financial Stability Review, May 2013 Poland's nationalization of $51.5 billion in private pension assets in 2014 is confirmed by OECD Pension Market Analysis. Source: OECD, Pension Markets in Focus, 2016. These weren't conspiracy theories or rumors. These were official government actions affecting millions of retirees. The pattern exists. So what are the options? There are really only three ways to fix Social Security: cut benefits, raise taxes, or raise the retirement age, or some combination of all three. Let's look at what each one means for your household. Cutting benefits. We already talked about the automatic 23% cut coming in 2033 if nothing changes, but Congress could also choose to reduce benefits gradually before then, means test benefits so higher earners get less, or change the formula for calculating. Cost of living adjustments. Any of these options means you get less money than currently promised. Raising taxes. The current 12.4% payroll tax would need to increase to around 15.7% to keep the system solvent through 2097. Source: Congressional Budget Office. Options to address Social Security's financial shortfall. 2023. That's an extra 3.3 percentage points coming out of your paycheck. For someone earning $60,000 per year, that's an additional $1,980 per year in Social Security taxes. For a couple each earning $60,000, that's nearly $4,000 less in take-home pay annually. Raising the retirement age. Currently, the full retirement age is 67 for people born in 1960 or later. Source: Social Security Administration. Retirement age calculator proposals have suggested raising it to 69 or 70. That means working 2 to 3 more years before you can claim full benefits. If you're in a physically demanding job, or if your health deteriorates, those extra years aren't just inconvenient. They might be impossible. The brutal truth is that all these solutions hurt. There is no painless fix. Either you get less, or you pay more, or you work longer, or all three. And here's what history teaches us. Governments always choose the path of least political resistance, which usually means delaying the decision until the crisis is unavoidable, and then imposing the harshest solution because there's no time left for gradual adjustments. Here's what you need to understand. This isn't a future problem anymore. If you're currently receiving Social Security, you have 9 years before automatic cuts. If you're currently working and paying into the system, you're funding benefits that the government admits it cannot pay in full when you retire. If you're planning your retirement assuming full Social Security benefits, you're building your future on a foundation that the government's own actuaries say is crumbling. The Social Security Administration trustees don't issue this report to scare people. They issue it as a legal requirement to inform Congress and the public of the system's financial status. Source: Social Security Administration Trustees Report, 2024. Letter of transmittal. The report is dry, technical, filled with actuarial tables and economic projections, but buried in that bureaucratic language is a countdown timer, and it's ticking. Here's my question for you. What are you going to do with this information? Are you going to assume Congress will fix it at the last minute?
Are you going to hope the projections are wrong? Or are you going to look at the official government numbers, recognize the pattern from history, and start planning for a retirement where Social Security might not be there, or might be drastically reduced? The records are clear. The math is unforgiving. The deadline is 2033, 9 years. What's your plan? If this information changed how you're thinking about retirement, hit subscribe. We're tracking the economic patterns they don't teach in schools, connecting the historical dots to your household budget. Because when you see what's coming, you can actually prepare. The question is, will you?